conspiracy theory that has become the justification for Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But long before it was the official line of the Kremlin, it started with a single tweet from an American, a QAnon follower who goes by War Clandestine, basically saying that the reason Russia went into Ukraine was to destroy US-funded biological laboratories. Laboratories that he says are developing bioweapons that are going to be used against Russian citizens.
We've been doing this shit for decades, and now they want to say that it's a conspiracy theory. Tell me how that makes sense. Did Putin bomb the US biolabs in Ukraine? That's all I want to know.
In the days after this thread goes out, Twitter suspends War Clandestine, and people start sharing screenshots of his original tweets, saying that he's being silenced. And people really take to it. The biolabs hashtag trends on Twitter, but gets millions of views on TikTok. People start making their own videos, adding more information, adding their own kind of flair to this conspiracy theory.
If you believe those US-funded biolabs in Ukraine aren't making biological weapons, please sit all the way down.
And this Twitter thread got shared thousands of times. It ultimately ended up on InfoWars, and it went as far as Fox News, the Congress, and of course, to the Russian government itself. Former President Dmitry Medvedev does an interview where he says he's extremely concerned about these bioweapons labs. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov does a press conference where he says part of the invasion is about securing or destroying these labs. There's increasing concerns that Putin could use this conspiracy theory as a pretext to launch a biological weapons attack in Ukraine.
Right lane to take the I-95 North ramp.
So I'm here in D.C. to see Dr. Robert Pope, who is a senior official at the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, and according to a whole bunch of these conspiracy theorists, and increasingly the Russian government, part of the reason for Moscow's invasion is to destroy all the labs that Dr. Pope is responsible for. So I am curious to get his perspective on this whole thing and to get a little bit more detail about what these labs actually do. Cooperative Threat Reduction Program is been in the news a fair bit recently, suffice it to say. Maybe you can just describe to me specifically what that is and you know, the biological threat that you folks work on.
Sure. Yeah, our program dates back a little over 30 years now, watching the fall of the Soviet Union with some alarm, and we're concerned about what was going to happen to the Soviet WMD arsenal.
So when it comes to the biological weapons, I mean, did you get rid of them?
Oh, well, I mean, we got rid of what we could cooperatively get rid of. I mean, the U.S. still assesses that Russia has an active biological weapons program, so I'd say we didn't get it all.
When it comes to Georgia, Ukraine, Poland, Kazakhstan, you know, are the remnants of that biological weapons program, is it gone?
There's no evidence that the U.S. is aware of that any of those countries have a biological weapons program.
In early March, a senior State Department official, Victoria Nuland, goes before a Senate committee and says, well, this.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities.
If there's a biological or chemical weapon incident or attack inside of Ukraine, is there any doubt in your mind that 100% it would be the Russians that would be behind it?
There is no doubt in my mind, Senator, and it is classic Russian technique to blame on the other guy what they're planning to do themselves.
She is very, very clear that she's concerned about biological research facilities being hit by airstrikes. She says nothing about bioweapons. But nevertheless, this becomes proof positive for a ton of people that the conspiracy theories like War Clandestine was touting were right all along. And suddenly it goes way bigger than just one guy who is really fond of the QAnon conspiracy theory. Suddenly, it's on one of America's most watched news programs, Tucker Carlson.
What exactly are they doing in these secret Ukrainian biolabs?
So I'm hustling back to my hotel right now because I have an interview booked with Ulana Suprun and Marko Suprun, who are two old contacts of mine who are still based in Kiev. It's just morning there. Their curfew has just ended. Marko runs an anti-disinformation agency called Stop Fake. And Ulana is the former Minister of Health for Ukraine. She helped sign the agreements that enabled, American partnerships in some of these labs. The Russian Foreign Ministry suggested that Ulana's grandfather is a Nazi, and it's been implied that that's why they want to develop these bioweapons. We've even seen Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky address this biolabs conspiracy theory and call it out.
Да, это анекдот. Нечего объяснить. Нет у нас.